Hi there, Presley here. By now we have all heard of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At the PlayStation Showcase, Insomniac Games announced Marvel's Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. It has since been confirmed that these two games will be set in the same universe. Thus, the birth of the Marvel Game Universe, or MGU. Let's have a look at what games must be included in the MGU. But before we get started, I would just like to say, to support this channel, please like, share, subscribe, but most importantly, enjoy. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Firstly, this one is a bit of a cheat entry. Square Enix announced Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy at E3 2021. It is the first game to be released from the Marvel Entertainment and Square Enix partnership. Marvel Entertainment announced that it had partnered with Square Enix to produce various games based on Marvel properties. The first entry in the series appears to be a standalone game. However, assuming the game is a success, there is likely to be a sequel. Hopefully, future games could tie into the same Marvel game universe. It would be a shame to have two successful franchises coexisting but never being able to cross. It would be like the 20th Century Fox and Marvel Studios movies all over again. It would be great to see the Guardians of the Galaxy cross paths with Spider-Man in the games sooner rather than later, or never. Now this one goes without saying. Depending on the story and direction of Wolverine, this could make an excellent sequel. Whether fans get to play as several members of the X-Men or only Wolverine is up for debate. It could work in the game's favour if it was focused rather than spread too thin. Having said that, the highlight of this game would be the range of abilities that players have access to. It would be exciting for fans to have the opportunity to control weather as Storm, or obliterate enemies with Cyclops' optic blast, or use telekinetic powers as Phoenix, or even manipulate metals as Magneto. If it uses the same leveling up mechanics as Spider-Man, an X-Men game can be a lot of fun. This one is another must for the Marvel game universe. In 2013, Activision released a Deadpool game. The game cost $100 million to develop. It was widely well received by fans, not so much by critics. A new Deadpool game can improve on the last one's shortcomings. Combat mechanics should mirror Marvel's Spider-Man. A level up system should also be implemented. This could allow upgradable weapons and unlockable moves. However, whether a Deadpool game would work as an open world game is questionable. Spider-Man works so well because of the web slinging. I can't imagine a unique and fun way to traverse a large open world as Deadpool. Let me know what you think in the comments. There are things from the previous games that can be kept the same. For example, the excellent self-referential and fourth wall breaking humour. It would also be great to have Nolan North reprise his role as Deadpool. Whether or not he gets his own game again, Deadpool is a character that needs to be introduced to the Marvel game universe. An AntMan game would be a breath of fresh air. AntMan's ability to change size would be such a unique game mechanic. The ability to change sizes mid-combat would add variety to the combat system. Different techniques can be unlocked via an upgrade system similar to Spider-Man. For example, turning into Giant Man to take out large groups of enemies. Changing sizes could also add an element of stealth to the game. For example, turning microscopic to run past unaware enemies. Furthermore, various sections of the game will be set in different sized areas. Players could end up having the biggest adventure in a small garden, or an epic action sequence on a toy set, or even explore the quantum realm. Finally, the size changing mechanic has limitless potential for in-game puzzles. A locked door? Why look for the key? Just shrink and climb through the keyhole. A huge chasm blocking the path? Why take the long way round? Just grow 100 feet tall and step right over it. If the Marvel game universe is a success, there absolutely must be an Ant-Man game. A new Punisher game makes so much sense. The Punisher is the fan favorite Marvel anti-hero. After the sudden cancellation of the acclaimed Netflix series, fans have been waiting to see the return of Frank Castle. A Punisher game was released in 2004 to mixed reviews. However, the game was censored or banned in most countries. This was due to the gory interrogations and torture scenes. Therein lies the biggest shame. Those were unique and innovative elements of the gameplay. If a new Punisher game was added to the MGU, the interrogations must return. Though to avoid controversy, they would have to be toned down. The gameplay would be focused on gun combat. This will distinguish it from the hand-to-hand combat of Spider-Man and Wolverine. Of course, a realistic cover and fire system must be put in place, as well as the over-the-shoulder aiming system that is used in most modern games. The Punisher will be a mature game aimed at an older audience. The only question is, will Disney and Marvel go through with it? Let me know your opinions in the comments. Adding the Punisher to the Marvel game universe opens excellent crossover stories. These include Deadpool vs. the Punisher, Marvel Knights, Punisher and Wolverine, the first appearance of the Punisher in The Amazing Spider-Man, and of course, The Devil by the Horns, The Punisher meets Daredevil. Before the final entry, there are a few honorable mentions that I should mention. Honorably. Marvel's Hercules would make a fantastic addition to the MGU. It will, of course, be set in ancient Greece. It can be a fun crossover between Norse and Greek mythology. For example, the story where Hercules is pulled into the future to combat Thor. A Scarlet Witch and Vision game would also be great. These two characters have unique powers that would make an interesting game, especially if the visual style takes inspiration from WandaVision. Players would be able to play through the different decades' visual styles. More interestingly, there could be different levels based in different decades of video games. For example, a 2D 8-bit level from the 80s. Another great addition to the MGU would be a Captain Marvel game. Carol Danvers has an array of powers that make her one of the most overpowered Marvel characters. These include superhuman strength and speed, precognition, and time travel, to name a few. These kinds of powers would make a fun video game protagonist. The ultimate entry to the Marvel game universe would be Cosmic Ghost Rider. In an alternate universe, Frank Castle is killed and sent to hell. There he makes a deal with a demon to become Ghost Rider. Then Galactus bestows him with the power Cosmic. Thus, Cosmic Ghost Rider is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe. In the game, players could explore outer space at near light speed on the Hell Cycle. Available weapons are the Hellfire chains and guns imbued with cosmic energy. Of course, all upgradable. His powers and abilities include blood bending and Hellfire manipulation. And his coup de grace, the Cosmic Penance Stare. This attack is able to easily destroy any of his enemies. A Cosmic Ghost Rider game could introduce this lesser known character to the masses. It would be a breath of fresh air to play as a character who has yet to be portrayed outside of the comics. The video game medium would be the best place to do justice to such a character. And there you have it. What games must be included in the Marvel game universe? As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Prez1990 for more videos. You can also follow me on Twitter at _Prez1990. I tweet up-to-date gaming news as and when I receive it. All that's left for me to say is take care, and I'll see you in the next video.